Avez-vous déjà entendu parler de la poliomyélite? Have you heard about poliomyelitis? Have you ever seen a child suffering from polio? And in this edition of H2N Health Update, we shall be talking about that. Et cette édition, nous recevons comme invité sur ce plateau, le plateau de H2N TV, les responsables de la santé publique. Et nous parlerons de l'activité gouvernementale autour de la 37e édition de la journée mondiale de la poliomyélite. And of course, what is the government of Cameroon trying to do in order to make Cameroon free from poliomyelitis?
So we are here with the Delegation of Public Health. We are here with Madame Pamela, who is the coordinator for the EPI program, the expanded program on immunization, as well as the communication officer for this program. And straight away, we're diving into our interview, and I'm giving the floor to my colleague who will be asking the first set of questions. Before that, good morning and welcome to H2N Television.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me today.
Good morning, Madam Cynthia, and welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here with you.
We are honored to have you. And good morning to you, mothers.
Good morning, Elizabeth.
So you have the floor.
Okay, so we are celebrating World Polio Day on the 24th of October, and we're curious to find out or to let the people know what is polio. What is polio and what are its symptoms?
Okay, thank you very much. Poliomyelitis, commonly called polio, is a highly contagious disease caused by a virus called the poliovirus, and this can lead to irreversible paralysis. Now, the signs and symptoms of polio: the child might experience high fever, headache, abrupt or sudden weakness of the limbs, and it's usually caused by ingestion of contaminated food and water that have been infected by an infected person, or maybe secretions, disease from an infected person.
So in essence, polio affects mostly children.
Yes, polio affects mostly children because they are vulnerable. We know they have a weaker immune system, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect adolescents as well. When you are prone or exposed to the infection or to the virus, you can as well come down with polio, but it mostly affects children 0 to 5.
Yeah, this is interesting. So, in essence, or let me say, how does it affect them? What particular symptom do you notice from a child to understand that the child is suffering from polio?
Okay, when we want to identify the causes in the community, at the community level, we say sudden or abrupt paralysis of the limbs, both legs and hands. The child always to use these parts perfectly, suddenly stop or have weaknesses in these body parts.
I want to ask you with regards to what you earlier said. Can you tell us what is the level of polio in the southwest?
Okay, so currently we do not have any case of polio, and there are different types of polio. So when we talk about poliomyelitis, we are referring usually to the wild type of the poliovirus. And the wild type of the poliovirus is 3 different strains: polio 1, polio 2, and polio 3. The good news is that Cameroon in 2020 was declared as being wild polio type free, which means that surveillance activities were done and intensification of vaccination took place, and we realized that although the wild type strains of the poliovirus are no longer existing in the country. So excellent news for us. But the bad news is that there are other countries around the world, other countries like Afghanistan, that are still having some types of wild poliovirus. And where there is polio anywhere in the world, it means that all countries are still at risk. That's the reason why we continue to emphasize surveillance, we continue to emphasize routine vaccination as concerns polio. So when we look at a child in the community, or we talk about existence of poliomyelitis, there is no wild poliovirus, but there is what we call the circulating vaccine-derived poliovirus strain, which is not the typical wild poliovirus we know, but it is a derived strain which exists in Cameroon and other neighboring countries in Cameroon. Just recently, we had a case that was detected in the Adamawa region. And during the year, we've had cases detected in, I think, the extreme north, and also some cases detected in the littoral and in the center region. Usually when there is one case, even one case of the polio virus, circulating vaccine derived, of course, because we've not had any case of the white polio virus, it means there is a response activity that is needed. Response activity to strengthen the immunity of children aged 0 to 5 years. So that's the reason why we have a lot of response campaigns throughout the course of the year. I know many parents usually ask this question, polio again? We just had polio campaign maybe last month, and then now we're having a polio campaign again. Why do we have so many polio campaigns? So that is the reason why, because when there is even one outbreak, it means that we need to reinforce our children with the vaccines. And when we have a specific type of outbreak, for example, if we have the circulating vaccine derived polio variant 1, the response campaign will tackle polio variant 1. So these response campaigns are usually different from the routine vaccination we have in the health facility. So I know I'm speaking a lot, but it's very important, because when we have polio, we need to have reinforced routine vaccination. So wherever you see that there is a polio outbreak, it means routine vaccination is suboptimal. So we need to emphasize this so that parents take all eligible children to go to the health facilities and get themselves vaccinated. So ideally, it's from 0 to 11 months, the target group for vaccination. But any child that has missed their vaccination appointment, even up to 5 years, can go to the health facility and will receive the vaccines they are eligible
So
for.
talking about polio vaccination, is it a once in a lifetime something? Like if your child takes it this year, can the child go through, or maybe when they launch the next campaign, your child will still have to take it?